I'm back.
No more than emotionally invested. Showing you all my imperfections. No, if I let you, don't take me for granted.
I feel like I be pulling Corey sometimes. Y'all know how Corey just disappeared and then he come back randomly. I feel like I'm pulling a Corey. I think he's rubbing off on me, y'all. Corey, I 1000% understand you now because I be needing some time, y'all. What's up, YouTube? It's Notoriousss and I am back with another video. If y'all hear people in the background making noises and stuff, talking and stuff, ignore them. Alright, so for today's video, we're going to be doing a story time. My first ever story time on this channel. And I got a couple of story times. I don't have a lot, but I got a couple of them. And this story time is going to be the story time of the first time I ever got drunk. So, this story time took place 2 years ago in 2023. And that's crazy because 2023 is actually 2 years ago. And that's when I graduated high school. Like, what? What? You would have never expected me to be that kind of person who would be like, oh, I'm gonna wait to do certain stuff because, you know, I was a goody girl. I was goody good girl, and I'm still a goody good girl. It's a lot of stuff that I haven't done. I still only have one body to my name. So yeah. So this story time takes place in 2023, like I just said. Me and my roommate, and I'm gonna call her Sprite. We're gonna call her Sprite. Me and my roommate Sprite moved into our apartment in our freshman year of college. A little advice, don't do that. Get a dorm. If you want to be out of your parents' house, get a dorm. It was fine living by myself, but you don't want to handle that responsibility of living in an apartment until you're at least out of college. And I'm being honest, at least get out of college before you move along. This is coming from experience. But yeah, me and my roommate Sprite, we moved into our apartment and we wanted to do like a little game night type of vibe, you know, just have some fun with our boyfriends. It was my boyfriend, we're gonna call him 8. Her boyfriend, we're gonna call him PR. I'm not gonna tell y'all why I'm calling him PR because if I tell y'all, him and my boyfriend is gonna call me and get on my head checking me. So we ain't even gonna do that. I'm not gonna tell y'all why his name is PR, but his name is PR. So Sprite, PR, and 8. So we wanted to do a little game night type of vibe with our boyfriends because it was our first day in the apartment. She met her boyfriend PR through my boyfriend 8. And they're not dating anymore. They're not together anymore, but I am still with 8. So yeah, she met her boyfriend through my boyfriend. So we were gonna do like a little, we're gonna get together type of vibe. We had some Uno cards. We had a Twister game. I had the game Clue. Like, we had some games. She cooked some Rotels, some wings. I forgot what else she cooked, but I know it was Rotels and wings. We had liquor. That is the main point of the video. We had liquor. So we had Pig Whitney, we had Paul, and then we had something else that I don't know what it's called, but I don't know what it's called, but we had 3 drinks. We had Pig Whitney, we had Paul, and then I don't know if the Paul was the clear or the brown one. I'm not a drinker. I don't do liquor. So I don't know. Let me look it up. Okay, so yeah, like I said, I just looked it up, and when I looked it up, Paul was brown, so I'm guessing the brandy was the clear one. I don't do liquor, so I don't know. So don't quote me if I'm wrong. So yeah, we had 3 of them. I remember Pink Whitney, and then we had a clear and a brown one. And then I had apple juice as a chaser. So that was not the first time I had ever taken any kind of sip of liquor. I took a little bit at my grandma's birthday dinner with champagne. So, and I also drank some Jack one day at a hotel. That's a story time for another time, but I didn't drink enough to get drunk. I just drank like 1 shot, literally. I didn't drink enough to get drunk. This time I drank enough to get drunk. So yeah, so we had just moved into the apartment. I was just finishing up moving all of my stuff in there. I was putting all my stuff together and stuff like that, and then that's when I called my boyfriend, and I was like, hey, when are you coming? And he was like, he had to do this and that. Lying. But yeah, he was like, he had to do this and this and this and that. And so yeah, we was just waiting on him to come or whatever. I think I had ended up falling asleep, and I woke up to the sound of PR in the kitchen because he was loud as. But yeah, like I was saying, I woke up because I heard him in the kitchen or whatever. And so I went in the kitchen, and I think that was my first time ever seeing PR in person. I almost said his name. Seeing PR in person. And I was just like, at first I was like, who's this random person in the kitchen? And then I thought about who it was. I was like, where's 8? Type stuff. I started asking him stuff like that. He was like, I don't know. He said he was on the way. This, that, the third. I go in my room, and 8 texting me, and he was like, I'll be on the way in a minute. At the time, 8 was using his cousin's vehicle. So I guess he had to wait until his cousin finished whatever she had to do.
You thought that I was stupid enough to believe that lie.
And then he could come. But yeah, so the day started going on. We was just in the kitchen. I had already ate. We were all fixing our plates and things like that. And we were kind of just talking a little bit, just vibing a little bit. And then I started to feel like a third wheel. So I was like, okay, so while we were waiting on 8, I want to go ahead and try it a little bit. Because like I said, I am the only person out of the whole group that has never been drunk. So I had grabbed all 3 of them. The pink Whitney, the brown, and the clear. And I mixed it all into one cup. And I put apple juice on top of it inside the same cup. And it was actually really good. So don't even try to be like,
oh, that was nasty. That sounds like it was nasty.
No, it was actually good. It was good. I was able to drink it like it was regular juice. So I mixed that together, and I just took a little sippy. Just one though. And then I went into my room because why not? I mean, it wasn't really affecting me like that. So when I went into my room, I don't know what I did. I think I started watching TV or something, or I started calling 8. It was one or the other, watching TV or calling 8. And so I started to feel it just a tiny smidge bit, like the times before that I had felt liquor before. That's how I started to feel it. And I was just like, okay, that's enough, because I didn't want to be gone before 8 got there. So my roommate came into my room. I'm gonna call her Sprite. I need to stop saying my roommate. Sprite came into my room, and she was just basically talking to me about what happened. They went in the room and boom, 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 as you thought. And so when I came back out, we started to play some music and stuff while we were still waiting on 8. And then that's when I started drinking the rest of it. So me and her, we were through. Like, we were already through. We were through. So we was playing Hellcats SRTs by Sexy Red, and we was just like dancing around and stuff like that. We were still drinking. We had ate another plate and everything. Like, we were just vibing, dancing around mainly. That's what we were mainly doing. And then we get to try to play the game and stuff, because I was like, I'm not gonna keep on waiting on 8. That's when I started getting irritated. So I was like, I'm not gonna keep on waiting on him. So we started playing the game and stuff, and that's when he get to texting me and calling me to I'm outside. So I told PR, I was like, you gonna have to go get him, because I can't. He was like, it's understood. Yeah, it should have been understood. Yeah, that's when I had told him that I was like, you gotta go get him because I can't. He was like, it's understood. He left out the door, and me and her were just still in the room vibing. We kept playing Hellcats SRTs over and over and over and over again, literally. And then that's when we started to realize, after about 10 minutes or so, they came back up here. So we was like, okay, we're gonna go find them. So we went out the house, stumbling and falling everywhere, literally. We went out the house, stumbling, falling everywhere, and then we went to the elevator. We went downstairs and we went, again, ignore them, y'all. To the elevator, we went downstairs and then we went right in the lobby, and that's where they were. And so we was like, what's taking y'all so long? They hurry up and came in the elevator and stuff. Smelled like straight tree. Yeah. So came in the elevator, we went upstairs, and then that's when I was still stumbling and falling everywhere that I literally could not pay attention to what I was doing. I gave a little hug or whatever, and then we went back in the apartment. Again, me and Spike were already gone, so like, we were to no return. And then my stupid self took it again, and then from that moment, black. I kid you not. Like, I literally kid you not. Like, we were, after that, I can remember bit by bit. I cannot remember just like completely what happened. And then like, yeah, that's going too far. But yeah, it just became black. All I remember is like blinking in and out. And like the scene switching when I'm blinking. And y'all know how they be doing on them little shows and movies and stuff. That's what I remember. But we started playing Uno. I had dropped the cup, guys. And it went all over the floor. And while I leaned over off the couch, I was sitting in 8's lap. I leaned over off the couch to try to wipe it up with my hand, bro. I was like, it was through, bro. But yeah. Yeah, we was playing Uno. And then I get to talking reckless. If you know what reckless means. So they was like, no, she done. So me and 8 went in my room, and yeah, after that, I think I was kind of just like rambling a lot. I kind of like, at the time, I couldn't remember anything that happened that next day that I woke up, because I was actually still low-key kind of little drunk when I woke up. But like, I can't remember anything that happened during that night. But like, over time, the memories started to come back to me. And like, to this day, I still remember new stuff that happened that night. So, I was just kind of rambling and stuff. I was telling, hey, I was like, I don't think he liked me for real. And like, I think he was kind of getting annoyed with me because I kept saying that over and over again. Or if I wasn't saying exactly that, I was saying stuff similar to it. Like, I was just rambling a lot. And then I can't remember what happened after I rambled a lot, but I do remember waking or opening my eyes or whatever, and he came and would play. And I'm like, after he finished eating the food, he took it back in the kitchen. I remember this. I put my robe on. No clothes. Just robe. No clothes. So I put my robe on. Why did I go in the kitchen and it was not tied up? It was not tied up and our blinds were opened. Bro, he tried to hurry up because, you know, dudes can handle it better than females. So he tried to hurry up and cover me, and I'm like, what are you doing? And so I had he had took me back in the room, got back in the bed, went to sleep. Or that's what I think I did. Woke up throughout the night again, rambling. And then fell back asleep, woke back up the next day, and it was over with. To my opinion, it was over with. But it wasn't really over with for real, because I was still kind of drunk. Like, I was still kind of feeling woozy in the head. I wasn't, like, I didn't have a headache, but I was feeling woozy. And so that's when me and Sprite had reconnected, and we talked, and we was like, she was kind of helping me remember some of the stuff, because I couldn't remember anything, because that was my first time. That was not their first time getting me drunk. It was my first time though. I literally could not remember anything. So we started talking and stuff, and she kind of started to just remind me a little bit about what happened. And like she reminded me about us playing Uno. We did play Uno for a second. She reminded me that we did play Uno for a second, and then that's when I spilled the drink. And then we were like, never mind, wrap it up. We were about to attempt to play Twister, but then I started talking reckless. So like I started ending everything because I couldn't control my thoughts. So me and 8 had ended up hugging before they left. They left that morning. I remember they left that morning. And I think when they left, my friend came over there. We're not gonna give her a name yet because this ain't no story time about her. But yeah, that was just that. My first time getting drunk. I ain't gonna lie. Even though that was the first time I ever got drunk, that is the first and the only time that I've ever been that drunk. Like, any of the time that I've ever taken any kind of sip of liquor, I did not get blacked out. Type of not remembering anything that happened. Type of drunk. Even on my birthday, I was not that drunk. Like, I was remembering everything that... I remember everything that happened on my birthday. Like... But yeah, reference, I am about to be 21. I'm not 21 yet, but I'm about to be. So, we're not gonna do that. Alright guys, so that's really it for this video, for this story time. I just kind of wanted to give you guys a little backstory, a little story time, because I've never done story time before on YouTube. So, make sure you give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. And I will see you guys in the next video.